So once again, welcome to St. Felicity College, the College of Information Technology Education. So I am the one who handling your course Living in the IT Era for this semester. So I am Marmelo Abante, presently the Dean of the Graduate School in IT of World City Colleges. I am an ISO Internal Auditor, Philippine Quality Award Assessor, Alcocoa Accreditor, ICT Validator, ARQUAT member of NCR, Region 4 of the Commission on Higher Education, the former President of the Philippine Society of IT Educators National, and the Technical Committee for BSP, DTI, and so on. I graduated for baccalaureate degree, BSIT, BSCS, BS Tourism Management, and BS Computer Engineering. I graduated 3 master's degree, Master's in Mathematics, Master's in Business Administration, and Master's in Information Technology. I have 4 doctorate degree, of course, Doctor in Education, Doctor in Information Technology, Doctor of Philosophy in IT, and at present, I took up my Doctor in Business Administration. And I luckily passed the Data Privacy Officer Level 2. Okay, for those who are enrolled in Living in IT Era, specifically for BSIS, BSCS, and AIT, this will be your college vision and mission with objectives. And the program outcomes. Now, as what I mentioned earlier, that all first-year student, all freshman student, either HRM, tourism, office management, IT, or 4-year degree has a Living in IT Era course or subject. So how Living in the IT Era will work for you? This course deals with the basic concepts and application of computer and computer technology. It covers computers in each application to the society and industry. Now, this will be the course description of Living in the IT Era. This course is designed to illustrate what it means to be digitally literate and to demonstrate what can be accomplished using a computer. The student will progress to using popular software application programs to process typical documents found in a business or school environment. Students are also introduced to what the internet is and what makes it popular for communicating and sharing information with others. This course is targeted towards people who are new to computers or who have had limited exposure to a computer prior to taking this course. The intent of this course is to impart knowledge and skill sets that a particular or participants can apply to tasks or she may want to perform using a computing device. So this will be the course intended outcomes of the Living in the IT Era. So of course, understanding the progress of information technology, identify information system in terms of hardware, software, and connectivity, identify principal components of given computer system, manipulate and familiarize the feature using and uses and functions of Microsoft Access, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, and identify threats to privacy and confidentiality, as well as threats to integrity and security of information. During this course, you are also required to perform and demonstrate some software applications, master and familiarize the features of different word processing, Microsoft PowerPoint, as I mentioned, and Microsoft Excel for mathematical combinations. And you could able to use computer information system for both the communication and the collaboration process, shared information, and create a new information. Identify, manipulate, and familiarize the feature, expose and experience the learning in distance education environment as what we did at present. Our class is online. This is what we call as synchronous class. During our asynchronous class, you are going to do your activities. Okay? So that's why our class is only Monday. So every Wednesday, you are required to do all our activities. Then learn the computer information literacy skills, exhibit moral, ethical, and social responsibilities as professional and a Filipino citizen. So what do we expect from you in this class? In these extraordinary times, our learning environment is constantly changing. Hence, we also adapt to the demands and to the challenges of the times. As lifelong learners, we expect you to comply with the schedule requirement as these were meticulously developed based on the needs of the times and the requirements of the course. Since the class is online, absences will not be excused, excluding unavoidable circumstances. Also, okay, since the class is online, again, absences will not be excused. Also, compliance will be strictly followed since most class activities are asynchronous. When we say synchronous, this will be the class online. When we say asynchronous, we will give you a schedule wherein you are required to do all your activities per subject. There are lessons in online conferencing, sessions which are specifically scheduled. Should you miss one or two of these, it is your sole responsibility to catch up and keep track of the class pacing. Okay, so this will be the coverage of living in the IT era. So today we have orientation, then after that, what is operating system? Week 2, hardware device. Week 3, network and mobile device. File management, software application, cloud computing, security and maintenance, apps in application, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, database, looking in the internet, managing media literacy, and your life online. So as you can see, we don't have week 6, 12, and 18 because this schedules is intended for your major exams. What materials will you need for the course? Work device, laptop, or mobile phone. A laptop or desktop is required since we will be dealing with a lot of hands-on activities as well as teleconferencing, either Google Meet, StreamYard, Zoom, or YouTube Live. MS Office application must be installed in your laptop or desktop. How about if you don't have computer? You just try to ask Miss Mai to schedule you if you are allowed to visit the St. Felicity College, then you are allowed to use their computer if you don't have laptop or computer or desktop. Now, this will be the grading system. Then this will be my email address, my FB account, and my YouTube account. Question. Do you have any questions so far? Hello, are you still there?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so we may proceed. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, our discussion, the first module 1 covered operating system. Now, so this will be the lesson objectives. So upon completion of this lesson, you will be familiar with function of operating system, popular desktop operating system, and updates, user accounts and profiles, power on and power off procedures and power options, using the start button, navigating the windows, desktop, and using the taskbar, assessing the setting up, control panel, customizing the window desktop, and the feature of mobile operating system. Now, what is an operating system? Throughout this course, you will learn about using computers. A computer is essentially a collection of electrical and mechanical parts, referred to as hardware. Each hardware part performs its own function and in order for all the parts to work together. They must be able to communicate instead of communicating directly with one another. The various components communicate via an operating system. The operating system is a computer program. When we say program, a program is a sequence of instruction that guides the computer through the performance of a specific task or sequence of tasks. The individual lines of instruction are referred to as a code. Then the term software refers to any program that makes a computer run, including operating system and application program. But we need to take note that software developers write source code for their programs in a human-readable format. In order to prepare a program to be installed and used on a computer, the source code is converted into an executable format through a process called compiling. And compiling changes source code into a machine language. Every computer requires an operating system in order to function. Think of an operating system as the central manager of a communication, coordination, and control. Now, what is an application program? On the other hand, it allows you to be productive, to create documents or complete specific tasks such as creating a budget, removing red eye from a photograph, searching the internet, or scheduling a meeting. An application program uses the operating systems to control the hardware functions of the computer. And you as a computer user interact with the operating system whenever you log on to the computer or type on the keyboard, tap on a touchscreen, or use an application program such as an email program or a word processor. So as what we have here, so it works like this. So this will be the operating system. This will be the OS, no? Then this will be the application program. For example, Microsoft Word. As you work in an application program, based on what we have here, the program interacts with the operating system behind the scenes. The operating systems manage hardware devices, controls communication among hardware devices, control communication between application programs and hardware devices, and manage files stored on your computer. Now, the evolution of the modern operating system interface. Since the early days of personal computing, operating systems have overloaded or evolved from simple monochrome text screen to full color point and click interfaces. An interface is a point where two systems or people or network or devices meet and exchange information. Anytime you use a computer, join a network, or plug in a device, you communicate with it through an interface. Today's modern operating system communicate with you through a graphical user interface or GUI. A GUI lets you use menus and clickable buttons or icons to start programs, move files, or perform other tasks. We have a proprietary and open source operating system. When we say proprietary are commercial software programs that are owned by an individual or a company, usually the person or company that created it. When you install a software, you must agree to the terms of the end user license agreement. In most cases, the license agreement is quite restrictive and with fee, of course, because that is proprietary software. We have also all versions, including mobile versions and editions of Windows, Mac OS X or 10, and Unix are proprietary. Open source software licenses make the source code of the software freely available, and users are permitted to study, change, and distribute the software to anyone for any purpose. We need to take note that Linux, FreeBSD, OpenBSD, and React OS are example of open source operating system, and that is for free. Now, the desktop operating system. We need to take note that once we buy a laptop or once we buy a computer, the operating system already installed. Now, there is an operating system installed already to your laptop or desktop or computer upon buying a computer or laptop. There are many types of operating system in wide use today because there are many types of devices. You will focus on desktop operating system and mobile operating system. A desktop operating system is one that is used on desktop and laptop computers. A desktop operating system is a large and robust program. It offers many features and provides a great deal of power and control over how the computer runs. An operating system actually are released in various versions and editions. An operating system version refers to the specific code base that was used to develop the operating system. For example, before we have Windows 7, Windows 8, but at present we have Windows 10. And we have a lot of different versions of Windows operating system. An operating system editions determine which features are available. So for example, various versions of the Windows operating system are released in varying editions such as Home, Professional, or Enterprise. And the popular desktop operating system today is Mac OS X. And you might like Windows while your friends prefer to use this one, Mac. No? Almost all operating system include a desktop, which is the screen that opens once you log on and ready to begin working. An operating system desktop usually include colorful background. No? So as what we have here, this will be a sample of a screen of a desktop. No? So we have here. We have an icon here. So as you can see here, the recycle bin and others. The desktop is the central place from which a user interacts with a computer. Okay. So this will be an example of an operating system, Windows 7. Now, if you are not familiar, or maybe someone still using a Windows 7 operating system. So a while ago, as I mentioned, we have different icons here. Now this will be an icon. This will be a Windows 8. So as you can see here, almost the same, but with additional feature. So Windows 10. And this operating system is the latest for Microsoft Windows. If you are using Mac, so Mac of course is Mac OS. So that is Mac OS 10, version 10.9 or Maverick. This will be the icons, no? It's available also icon of the taskbar. Then that is Mac OS 10, no? Version 10.10 Yosemite. Okay? Then, Mac OS X version 10.11, El Capitan. Then again, as I mentioned, we have also Linux. Linux is a free and open source operating system. You can find Linux installed on a supercomputer such as those used by Google and NASA. Versions of Linux are called distributions or distros for short. Now, right after opening or turn on our computer, we have different account. Okay? So no matter which operating system you use, certain features are common among all of them. In addition to managing communication devices and file storage, an operating system keeps track of who is using the computer. And this is accomplished through the user account. Excuse. So when you first power on a Windows computer, one of two things can happen. If you are the only user of the computer and your user account does not require a password, then you will be automatically logged on to your account and desktop appears. If you are using a computer on which multiple user accounts have been set up, or if your user account requires a password, then Windows display an icon and account name for each user account, and you must log on to your account by clicking your account icon and entering a password, as you can see here. So my user account is standard user. Now, we have different account types. Because operating system allows for the creation of different type of accounts. Actually, in Windows, there are two readily available account types. As what we have here, we have administrator account and standard user account. How do we differentiate these two? Excuse. An administrator account enables you to make change or changes to the system that will affect other users. Install and uninstall software and hardware and create or make changes to other user accounts on the system. While the standard user account enable you to use most of the capabilities of the computer. However, you can install or uninstall some software and hardware because the administrator account can, but the standard user account cannot. Okay? There are certain cases that you can access other user files stored on the computer, and you can change settings that affect other users or the security of the computer. Of course, the user file. Each user account is associated with a profile. No? A profile is a collection of settings that make the computer look and function in a particular manner. And a profile also includes settings for elements such as desktop background, lock screen, screensaver, pointer preferences, date and time, format, and so on. When you log on to the computer using user account, the setting is associated profile are loaded and affect what is displayed on the desktop. When you make customization, such as changing the desktop background or applying a sound scheme, those changes are saved in your profile so that the next time you log on to your account, all your customization are in effect. You will customize your profile later in this session actually. So as you can see here, we have an inbuilt in power off procedures. So we have the power button here. Then you are able to balance what will be your plunge battery meter, balance, power saver, high performance. And this will be the battery performance at the right side. Now, understanding Windows power option. In Windows 10, several power option. So, on many desktop computers, the power switch is located at the front of the top of the system case. And the most commonly used icon for a power button is as what we displayed a while ago. You just simply press the button on the power to turn it on. The computer perform a startup test and then load the operating system files into memory. This process is also referred to as booting. When the operating system is located or loaded, Windows will display either a welcome screen followed by the desktop or a logon screen from which you must select your account. After you log onto your computer, the desktop display. So this will be an example of a desktop again. Now, how about if we want to powering off a Windows computer? When you are done working, you should save your work, close any open programs, and then power off the system. So, to properly power up a Windows 10, click the Start. So, located here, for example, here, no, click the Start button, then click Power. Then, to display the power menu. So, what will be the power menu? We have here, one is sleep, hibernate, shutdown, restart, or sign out. Okay? So, right after that, in the power menu, click shutdown to power off the system. The computer closes all files and programs, close the operating system, and turn off the power completely. But actually in Linux, no, the power off options are name, halt, no. If in Windows 10, they have sleep, shutdown, restart, or sign out. In Linux operating system, halt, power off, reboot, and shutdown. In macOS, the option are named as sleep, restart, and shutdown. So it depends upon to your operating system. Now, looking at the Windows 10 desktop. The Windows desktop is the main screen on which program windows, icons, and dialog box appear. Your Windows 10 desktop should look similar to the following screen, as you can see here. You will notice several objects or icons on the desktop, and this vary from one system to another depending on how the computer is configured. Okay, so we have a desktop. This will be the desktop, the mouse pointer, the taskbar, the search box, and the start menu. No, just to the right of the start button in the search box, click in the search box and begin typing. Okay, and others. So you can configure several commonly accessed settings through the Windows 10 setting app. Click Start and then Setting to open the main windows of the setting app. From this window, you can browse the categories or use the search box at the upper right corner to find what you are looking for, including advanced options on specific pages in control panel. So if you want to change the system, the network, and the internet, if you have problem with internet connections, you want to add additional accounts, update insecurities, ease of accounts, and so on. Now, this will be the control panel. No? It is the area in Windows where you can access features to customize settings for devices on your system. So, again, as what we have here, we have the system and security, network and internet, and so on. So, under the Windows control panel, we have system and security, network and internet, hardware and sound, for sounds, of course, programs, user account, appearance, and personalization, clock, and ease of access. How about the mobile operating system? As you can see, we have a lot of mobile here. So smartphones and some tablets use mobile operating system. Mobile operating systems are optimized for touch screen technology, small screen size, and so on. Okay? This will be an example of an Android operating system. Android actually is developed from Google and based on Linux, and it is an open source. Android releases are named for sweet confections like Jelly Bean, Kit Kat, Lollipop, Marshmallow, and others. So how about the Mac iOS or the Mac phone or the iPhone? Okay, so they are using iOS. Okay, the Apple iPad, iPad Touch, iPad, and second generation Apple TV all use iOS. Okay? So this will be an example of Windows 10 Mobile. And you, maybe you are familiar. BlackBerry 10. Okay, so it runs only on phones and tablets manufactured by BlackBerry. Touchscreen navigation of mobile OS. No? So if you have a touchscreen, as you can see here, based on the given example, this one, no, power off, reboot, screenshot, airplane mode. Then this will be the mobile operating system. We have black screen, no. Sometimes you swipe, you have pattern, you have the PIN code or the password, you have a fingerprint, or sometimes you don't want to have your own lock or power phone lock. It depends upon on you actually. But for security reason, at present we are using face recognition. Not only fingerprint but even face recognition. We will be able to open our mobile through face recognition. So this will be the home screen. The notification icons, the status icons, status bar, app folder, app screen, dock, home screen indicator, app shortcuts, and widget. So this will be the definition of all notification icons, status icon, status bar, app shortcuts, app folder, and widget. So as what we have here, this will be the home screen, no, and the definitions of dock and app screen. So how to set up a mobile app? Okay, wireless and cellular network connections, phone hardware, personalization settings, system settings, and notice that these are the same type of settings that you can configure in a desktop operating system. Ang mobile, almost the same lang yan sa desktop operating system. The virtual personal assistant, we have Siri. No, for iPhone, we have Google Now, Cortana, and BlackBerry Assistant. So, for example, in my iPhone, so you just simply open Zoom. Then automatically, the iPhone, my iPhone open the Zoom application using Siri. Okay, the open operating system updates, we have patches, update, and service packs. The categories, important, recommended, and optional. If you wanted to update your operating system, you need to consider these three categories. Sometimes you just simply update the important, or most of the time we accept the recommended updates. Or you may choose optional, of course. And that's it. This will be my references, okay, for this discussion. Again, this will be my email address. Enjoy the rest of the semester. Okay. Do you have any questions so far?
Wala.
No, sir.
This video, this presentation is recorded.
Okay,
I'm
sir.
going to post this video to our group. Mr. JM,
Yes, sir.
can you create an FB group for us or FB message group? Maybe you are also know some other of your classmate.
Okay, sir. Noted.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you then, sir.
Do you have any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, so can I see your face for a while for me to see you? So once we meet, I am familiar who you are. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello po.
Hi, good morning. I think that you are more than 10 so I don't know what happened. No? So maybe they are still looking forward for an internet connection. So again, as I mentioned earlier, if you don't have laptop or computer, try to ask Madam Mai to schedule you in St. Felicity College because you are allowed to use computers in St. Felicity. But if you are an IT or ComSci or BSIS, better for you to buy because you have a lot of activities. hands-on activities.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Noted.
Okay, thank you very much once again. Good morning and see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Once we created an FB group, I will give you some additional instruction there. Okay? Thank
Okay
you
po.
and God bless everyone.
Thank you,
Salamat
sir.
po.
Okay, God bless.
Bye-bye.